Do chemtrails make people gay? Does Wi-Fi give you cancer? Do the rich and powerful go into a forest in California to worship a giant statue of an owl and do gay stuff, possibly as a result of chemtrails? Conspiracy theories, something I'm sure we're all familiar with. Whether it is because you like watching Wendigoon videos while you eat your cornflakes, or your wacky uncle likes telling you about how Mickey Mouse is the Antichrist.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard plenty of conspiracy theories. You might even believe some. And why wouldn't you? From the CIA trying to get mind control to work, to the rich and famous going to an island to play Genshin Impact, the world is full of crazy things. So what other crazy things are we not being told? Well, who knows? But generally most people who are casual conspiracy theorists believe in fairly basic conspiracies, usually having something to do with distrust of the government or big corporations, which is fairly reasonable. Governments and corporations certainly have given us plenty of reasons not to trust them. So to better understand these conspiracies, I have invented my very own patented and trademark conspiracy theory believability scale, which is not just a line I drew in Photoshop, and if anyone says that it is, they've been paid to say that by the Rothschilds. On the more believable side of the scale, you have theories like the US government killed Martin Luther King Jr. Even if that isn't true, and full disclosure, I don't claim to know if it is or not, it at least has some credibility. After all, the King family won a wrongful death suit alleging that James Earl Ray wasn't the killer, and that must count for something. Or the theory that Yuri Gagarin wasn't the first man in space, and that other Russian cosmonauts did go to space before him but didn't make it back alive. So the Soviet government covered up their deaths because they didn't want the world to know about their failures in the space race. That certainly seems plausible. After all, the Soviets are no strangers to trying to rewrite history. And then on the less believable side of the scale, you have things like the moon landing being fake, or the idea that aliens did literally everything. I mean, seriously, people who believe in ancient aliens attribute almost everything to aliens. Pyramids, aliens. Bigfoot, aliens. The employees at the local taco place, aliens. My wife left me, clearly an alien abduction, and the divorce papers I found on the kitchen table must be a red herring from the aliens to distract me from the truth. But unfortunately for the enthusiastic conspiracy theorist, even believable conspiracy theories often aren't true, because if it was, it would probably just be a fact, like MKUltra or the Iran-Contra affair, because the fact of the matter is, people just suck at keeping secrets. And the more people that are in on it, the more likely it is that the truth will get out. But despite that, conspiracy theories thrive online because people are very gullible. I mean, just look at Twitter. I don't think a single factual statement has been posted on Twitter ever. Except for this one, this is the only factual statement that has ever been posted on Twitter. And like with so many ideologies, once being a conspiracy theorist becomes your whole personality, it's very difficult to admit that you're wrong because you're so invested in it. Which is when you get hardcore conspiracy theorists. The real tinfoil hat stuff, and I'm talking all the classics. Chemtrails, Hollywood is satanic propaganda, the elites are harvesting adrenochromes to keep them young, which doesn't seem to be working because they're all literal dinosaurs. And the list goes on and on. But as crazy as these people are, there's a level of conspiracy theorist even higher than the hardcore InfoWars watching, tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist that stands on the street corner yelling about Hillary Clinton being a lizard. A conspiracy theorist who is so disconnected from reality that he doesn't just challenge the mainstream narratives, but challenges the fundamental truths of the world as we know it. And I'm sure you can guess who I'm talking about. Probably because you saw the thumbnail for this video. It is the Flat Earther. Flat earthers have always perplexed me because most conspiracy theories have at least some motive behind it. Take the moon landing for instance. The argument for it being faked is that the Americans wanted to win the space race, which is why they faked the moon landing. That makes sense, even though in reality it would have been more difficult to fake it than actually go to the moon, but at least the motive makes sense. But flat earthers don't even believe that. Of course, all of them believe the moon landing was faked, but not to win the space race, but rather it was part of NASA's lies to deceive us all into thinking the world is round and that space is real. Oh yes, did I mention they don't believe space is real? Which begs the question, if they, whoever they may be, go through all this effort to convince us the Earth is round, if the Earth is flat, why the hell would they try to convince us it isn't? What's the point?
The best part about the truth of Flat Earth, though, is that it brings you closer to God. You don't have to be a purposeless piece of shit stuck to the side of a spinning ball and just drifting through a sad life that has no meaning. It's a beautiful thing to understand that this is no accident. You know, we were created. You were created.
Why would the shape of the Earth affect any of that? Is there some rule that says you cannot be happy on a round Earth? Not to mention, the idea of people being small and insignificant compared to the stars is actually a pretty common biblical theme. So the idea that flat Earth would bring you closer to God is something pretty much every theologian and religious person alive would laugh at. And to give you an idea just how convoluted flat Earth theory is, that clip I just showed you is from a video called "Is Flat Earth a Controlled Leak?", which is where this guy speculates if they are starting to condition the masses into believing the Earth is flat. Yes, according to flat earthers, the government is starting to brainwash people into thinking the Earth is flat. His evidence for that? The fact that movies sometimes reference the flat Earth.
Why does Hollywood constantly put flat Earth concepts in their movies? Is it truth in plain sight? Well, yes, it is. But are they mocking us, or are they trying to switch the masses back over to our original flat Earth cosmology? It really is confusing, but my gut tells me that flat Earth is becoming too much for the controllers to bear, so they are preparing to co-opt it if they have to. My theory is that if flat Earth knowledge becomes more so than the belief in heliocentrism, then they will do whatever it takes to transfer over peacefully with no revolution.
So what was the point? If they're going to just admit the Earth is flat when it becomes convenient for them, why did they spend the last 500 years brainwashing all of us to think it's round? Surely it would have been a lot more convenient to just not do that. That's another really weird thing about flat earthers, is that they think literally everything is some subliminal message with some greater meaning behind it. And not even subliminal messages to lie to us, but rather to tell us the truth.
Did you guys see the new Salesforce commercial for the Super Bowl?
Yes.
I haven't.
Amazing, right? Can we play it on the show here, or is
Yeah,
it-
you can. They're telling you the truth in plain sight there.
It's not
Multiple
rocket
times.
science. They got balloons. Forget Mars.
Forget Mars. Worry about here. There was another one in there too, towards the end, where he said, "It's not something. It's here." Like, meaning they're making it here on Earth. They're making what they've seen, all the crap they've watched is made here on Earth.
Pretty much.
Kind of Red Hot Chili Pepper style in a way, where it's made in a Hollywood basement.
That was pure sorcery, for sure.
Ah yes, finally, the truth has been revealed in an ad for customer relations management software. See, this is what I mean. On the one hand, they want us to believe the globe is the biggest hoax of all time. But then they also want us to believe that the Illuminati or whoever would also then just tell us it's all a lie.
The truth in plain sight there.
I'm no conspiracy expert, nor have I ever been involved in any large conspiracies. Do not ask where I was on September 11th, 2001, that is not relevant at all. But I feel like if you're going to try to con the masses into believing a lie, the last thing you should do is tell them you're lying to them. Which isn't even what the ad said, like at all. The amount of reaching these morons do is something you can't even find in a game theory video. R.I.P. MatPat. Gone, but not forgotten. All of these videos have been from a channel called ODD TV or Odd TV, which is a great source for all kinds of flat earth content. And it's run by this guy, Matt Priscilla, who is a 40-year-old self-described truth seeker, content creator, and rapper/producer. I did a little bit of Googling and came across his DeviantArt page, which is filled to the brim with really crappy Facebook conspiracy memes. So I took it upon myself to improve some of them. And these memes suck, dude, honestly. I think I should improve some of them. I think I can do better. Look at this one. I didn't become a flat earther by researching flat earth. I became a flat earther because I researched the globe. Powerful, powerful stuff, but I think I can do better. Much better. Perfect. That's a meme I can get behind. There was another one about the 7 stages of coping with flat earth, which I thought was ever so slightly inaccurate, so I fixed that too. And then last but not least, we have this lovely picture of Matt at his computer doing some research, uncovering the truth and owning all the globetards. So I went ahead and added just a little artistic flair. Now, Matt has a podcast on his channel called The Oddcast with Sean Hibbler, who is a conspiracy documentarian, and David Weiss, also known as Flat Earth Dave, who is most well known for getting absolutely demolished in a debate about Flat Earth for the enjoyment of over 4 million people.
You're just doing a middle school science project. You're not actually explaining anything. You're just going, oh, I did a thing in my living room, so all of science is wrong. That's what you're doing.
When I started looking into flat earthers, there were many things that didn't surprise me. One was that they don't believe in just flat earth. They believe in almost every conspiracy under the sun. No surprises there. I didn't expect flat earth to be anyone's only venture into the world of conspiracies. Secondly, something that won't come as a surprise to anyone, but people who believe in flat earth aren't very smart. Usually I don't want to just label anyone that disagrees with me as stupid, as tempting as that might be. But in the case of flat earth, I can confidently say that people who believe the earth is flat are genuinely unintelligent. They are far from the sharpest tools in the shed. And they will do that Redditor thing where they try to compensate for their severe lack of intelligence by using a bunch of big words.
Another common fallacy that globe earthers use is a reification fallacy. So what they do is they postulate things that they consider evidence that require the presupposition that the earth is a ball.
But there were a few things that did surprise me. The first would be just how many views these flat earth channels get. For example, ODD TV has over 300,000 subscribers, and many of his videos have views in the hundreds of thousands, sometimes even millions. Usually with thousands of comments, with the vast majority in support of flat earth, probably because Matt removes comments that are critical of flat earth. But I can't know that for sure, just that it's very likely. The second thing that really surprised me is just how much flat earth music there is. Like I said, besides being a truth seeker, Matt from ODD is also a rapper/producer, and his music is pretty mid.
I remember when I started school, I think I was 5 years old. A teacher pulled out a globe to teach us the earth's a globe.
Boo, that sucks! You seriously rhymed globe with globe? That's terrible, you can't do that. However, some of the music isn't that bad.
Days, we break away just like a renegade. So pay attention, gonna get a grade. We school and globus till they all away.
Honestly, that kind of goes hard, I can't lie. I'm into that. But unfortunately, most of it is just bad.
Relatively speaking, first day after the weekend.
That sounds like Drake,
my alter ego.
I need the max win.
but like way worse in every way. Everything I've seen about the flat earth community honestly just makes me feel bad for them. They're the laughing stock of the entire world, and that's kinda sad. Think about it. No matter who you are, no matter your race, religion, political affiliation, you probably think flat earthers are idiots. And I feel sorry for them that they're so dead set on this ridiculous belief that does nothing but get them laughed at by everyone else. And I've always wondered, how and why would they ever buy into this nonsense? And what I found is that flat earthers just live in a totally different world than we do. Literally. The universe they think they live in is fundamentally different than what we know to be true. And everything is a conspiracy to them. They don't trust any real scientist or scientific evidence or anything any government says or does. They believe almost everything is part of some grand conspiracy by our globalist overlords. Or I suppose that would be flatalist overlords to them. Planalist? What would they call it? I don't know. Now, of course, I'm not saying that you should just blindly follow everything your government or some guy with a PhD tells you. That would be ridiculous. But contrary to what some people might tell you, blindly assuming everything they say is a complete hoax doesn't make you a critical thinker. And flat earthers have taken that to such an extreme where they genuinely live in a fantasy world. A fantasy world where everyone else is a mind-controlled sheep, whereas they have broken free of the matrix, the brave few who know the truth. And I suppose they're right. They are special, because in a world full of gullible idiots, flat earthers truly stand out as being abnormally gullible and abnormally idiotic. But hey, if they see this video, they'll probably just say I got paid off by NASA or something. And honestly, I wish. NASA, if you're seeing this, I will be sending you an invoice for this globe propaganda piece.
But my hope will